Hi-ho, everybody. Here we are, coming in hot for episode 12 of
Hey, man. Nice Kiss shirt.
Look at that. We're already off to a banging synchrony. All right. As you know, I'm your humble host, Fido, my ever-loving sidekick, Powie, and we do this every week. What do, you ask? We rock and roll all night
and journal every day. It's a year-long guide
to celebrating the fun
of being a Kiss fan.
That's right. You heard right.
Fun.
Super fun. Super fun with Super Kiss. Rick Howard brings it to you, courtesy of Amazon.
It's all for you, demon.
That's right. Go to his channel. Watch his videos every week.
Chance you get.
Yeah. Hey, and it's the back cover of Dress to Kill.
Because we'll talk about it.
We'll talk.
We'll talk about it. Because we'll talk about it.
Hey, Funko Paul, what are you doing here? Oh, yeah. We are just getting started. But I was talking to somebody backstage before, and they said you forgot to tell these people about your T-shirt. Oh, yeah, you're right. This week's T-shirt. I'd like some help from you guys. This is a Sonic Boom T-shirt. There's no design on the back. And this is the most curiousest thing about this T-shirt. You may notice, and I've looked there's nothing on the back of this. Like I said, it's just a front design, but notice the logo. There's no trademark. There's no registered mark. There's no fine print anywhere on this shirt. It looks as though it was designed as like a parking lot T-shirt. But I got this on September 26, 2009 in Detroit. Kiss's last time at Cobo. Actually, it was the last occurrence of any concert at Cobo. And yeah, this was official merch. But yeah, look at that. Not a speck of cereal here. It's kind of crazy. So if anybody has any info about this design, please let me know. Oh, ho. Did you say you wanted to maybe do a little housekeeping?
Let's talk about it, because what a difference a week makes.
Yeah.
Kiss is playing in Las Vegas, and the Kiss Army will storm Las Vegas and watch Kiss play without makeup for...
What do you think? Like $1,000?
It might be like $1,000, and then plus you got to pay for your airfare and your hotel and any incidentals and Kiss merch that you might want to pick up on.
But $1,000? Yeah, maybe. Yeah, I honestly don't know. Am I upset about it? No, of course not. It's Kiss. People like to complain about stuff, and they've got a beef that retirement doesn't mean retirement. Well, I say, why don't you care about retirement when it's your own, okay? But when our heroes are like making decisions about how to play out the rest of their career, let's just let them do what they do, guys. Let's just let them do. Cannot we have peace in the kingdom? Peace in the valley? I don't know. Let's let all the other podcasts hash all that stuff out and yakety yak, all that about that.
Yeah.
I do know that maybe we should go to Ace. I mean, I've seen him the last couple times he's come around, but he's going to be in New Buffalo early summer, late spring. I don't know. But when's the last time you saw Ace?
I never saw Ace solo at all.
Wow.
I was waiting for
that. Was
almost
almost a Danny Kaye spit take right there. Yeah, fuck yeah, we got to go to New Buffalo then, man. Yeah, you got to see Ace and be mildly discombobulated at how his playing style has changed over the years.
I've seen footage. Yeah. It's like, okay, Johnny Thunders is still alive.
All right.
Let's get on with it.
So, Dressed to Kill. Here we go again. I think Beans might make another special guest appearance at some point.
The cat woman. Mm-hmm. The cat girl. She digs Peter Criss.
She does. She does. And she do matter to me. But she ain't no easy thing.
That's why.
Oh, my God. Do you know how many bad puns I could create in the next 30 seconds?
As many songs as there are on Peter's solo album.
I can't stop the puns.
Okay.
All right. Okay. Moving along. March 19th. How would Dressed to Kill have been different if Eddie Kramer produced the record versus Neil Bogart? There's the spit take. Versus Neil Bogart. That sounds like a death match. As opposed to Neil Bogart. Describe in detail, track by track, how the songs would have differed. For those of you who don't know, Eddie Kramer made a lot of his big bones with Hendrix. Kiss. Electric Lady isn't just for Kiss. It was Hendrix's conception. So he recorded Electric Ladyland with Eddie. And
Zeppelin.
Yeah.
Kramer made his bones with Zepp.
Yep. But
so
what those, like, with especially regarding Hendrix though, like that's what kind of some of the touches on Ace's solo record, on Love Gun, even the production techniques on Rock and Roll Over, harken back to some Hendrix stuff that Kramer innovated. So, like, I think that there would have been, like, more flange. There would have been...
bigger guitar sound, for sure.
Yeah. More attention would have been paid. There have been criticisms leveled against Dressed to Kill that it's a little thin, it's a little short, it's a little this, it's a little that. I love it. I mean, I love the fact that it's, like 29 minutes of rock. It's like the Van Halen 2 of Kiss's catalog. It just bam, bam, bam. But, yeah, Room Service. There already is some sort of novel guitar effectitude in the solo. And there's actually moments of, there's a couple of hints of guitar harmony on this record that set it apart from the first two Kiss records.
I had read that Ace built his own little amplifier out of radio parts, and basically the guitars do sound like they are like a transistor radio. And also I read in Paul's book that Bachman Turner Overdrive suggested that they pad their guitars with acoustic guitars.
So, like, prior to this?
Yes.
Like during the recording of Dressed to
Kill?
Or
during the recording of Dressed to Kill. Somebody from BTO suggested that they said that they padded their guitars with acoustic guitars to bring out more.
Probably more high, more transient attack, more... That's kind of like the Jeff Lynne, the ELO famous trick of substituting and EQing acoustic guitar parts for hi-hats and like not using hi-hats at all. Bevan would just play kick and snare and Jeff would drop in the hi-hats with acoustic guitar.
I don't think Kiss went to that extreme.
No. Okay, Room Service, two-timer. Yeah, I mean, it's really hard to, in a sense, I don't think it really necessitates a track-by-track examination about how, like Ladies in Waiting, the way the guitars sound in that first guitar solo, that already kind of leans toward Kramer in a way that nothing on the first two albums touch. Getaway, same thing. Yeah, I don't know. I think Kramer would have brought some
heaviness.
Just a fuller spectrum, a fuller sonic spectrum. Maybe it would have sounded less compressed had he had his hands on it. But yeah, as I sit here and look at the track listing, you know, nothing jumps out at me at like, you know, like maybe he would have gotten a little spacier with She.
Rock Bottom.
Yeah, maybe Rock Bottom. He maybe would have added some shimmer to the acoustic intro. Now you mentioned a hypothesis that was kind of interesting. If Eddie Kramer had produced Dressed to Kill, would Rock and Roll All Night have a guitar solo?
Right, yeah.
Another thing that's recently happened, maybe since our last episode, have you checked out the Frankenstein remixes of Come On and Love Me and Rock and Roll All Night?
Rock and Roll All Night, yes, I did.
Yeah,
one.
You put the solo in there.
Yes, he did.
Very cool. I really like what Ken does.
Shout out to that guy.
Yeah, I'm not a purist, obviously, or else I probably wouldn't like it. But yeah, I mean, it's just regarded as something different, and you won't have a problem with it. You know, it is something different. You know, he's doing all kinds of wacky stuff to these tracks. You know,
have you checked out The Elder yet?
Oh yeah,
okay.
Oh yeah. There's a couple of different. You know, there's the U.S. and the Japanese or the European Japanese version. He did a version. I'm saying Frankenstein did a version that was, you know, more condensed from the original reimagining that he put out with the prologue and all that. Man, just it's really fun stuff. So yeah, like how the songs would have differed. That's it would have
been beefier for sure if Kramer had produced, I think, and you know.
And there's just I don't know. There was something about his ability to light a fire under Kiss. I think the takes and maybe even the tempos. There would have been a greater urgency to the songs in general. Maybe the album would have clocked in at 27 minutes had Eddie Kramer produced it.
Maybe they'd have put different songs. Maybe they'd have put more songs on that actually didn't make the cut. I'm wondering if Eddie would have let those, you know. He wasn't like Bob Ezrin in that sense.
Yeah.
So he probably would have said, go ahead, record it.
Yeah.
Let's record it and see what happens. And maybe there would have been more songs on Dressed to Kill that, you know, maybe Smoke or something would have made it, you know.
Yeah. That's
maybe
possible.
we'd have gotten Mad Dog.
I would really...
Instead of blaming you.
Oh, you're talking... yeah, the hearkening... the main riff of Mad Dog.
Right. Yeah. Maybe,
Yeah, you know, just talking about Ken Nardi, though, like, man, like, he's the guy to ask. I should encourage him to sound off in the comments on this particular question. March 20th. What era of Kiss do you feel produced the greatest posters? What is the all-time best Kiss poster in your opinion? Why does this poster stand out?
For me, it's just, like I said, the 76, the stars, what'd you call it?
I call it the glitter poster.
The glitter poster.
It's the four heads.
Well, it's like what Peter has the ball and Ace has one too, like the glitter, the like shining orb or whatever, and just I thought that was
it's early destroyer costume.
Early destroyer.
I'll put it up here.
The choppers too, you know, there's that era. I thought, and Spirit of '76. I thought those were great. All those,
yeah,
you know. My favorite poster has got to be that one that I had the super poster of '78. It's just my favorite, just because I had it.
Yeah,
it was in the studio
for nostalgia's sake.
Yep.
Yeah, I go back and forth, man. It's really hard, but I mean, the question is what era. So I mean, I think it's safe to say that like 75 to 78 is the era.
Yeah.
of the great posters.
Yeah.
I mean, were there great photo shoots? The sessions, the stuff that made it into, say, the Dynasty Tour book, for instance, was that Francesco Scavullo did those shots of Peter that are awesome. But that's not, like, when we think about, you know, like,
iconic Kiss posters.
Yeah, iconic Kiss posters. But see, but that's the thing. I mean, my favorite stuff, were like the magazine pinups and the posters. Like I've mentioned this before, that one, it was the Spencer's thing, and it was like, it was an 8-panel perforated poster set.
Put it up.
And they were just, I'll have to put it up.
You'll have to put it up because I don't even know.
But a lot of those were the Barry Levine shots, you know, like Peter with the Panthers, and Gene with the baby coffin. Like if they would have released that as like, whatever, what
poster.
Like a 36 by 24 poster, I would have bought. I love that image of Gene with the baby coffin. And him, you know, with the same, I think the same session was kind of like the dungeony ones with the red lined vampire cape with the cowl and the dungeon setting and the chains and the skull but yeah, like there's a lot of pinups that I love a lot, and it's just criminal to me that the Warring Abbott photos that he took in Central Park. I mean, there are a couple, and again, they're pinup posters.
Yeah.
What did you do with that poster book?
It's over there. Do you want
to? Yeah. Yeah. If I could just like demonstrate one of these.
The one where Gene's like lighting his fart. I
don't remember that one.
Well, I mean, he's in front of everybody with his butt, you know, and his legs up over his head. With his legs up over his head. Yeah, but I mean, you want to go through it all.
Yeah, I mean, I really don't.
The glitter sessions.
Yeah.
I mean, and those, the cream.
The Christmas ones.
The Christmas, dude. Yeah. Look, and from Phantom.
There's just...
the chopper. Oh, my.
You know, and we talked about how great Alain's books are. Here's another one.
That's Alain's book.
The Illustrated Guide to Magazines Kiss Posters. This is Yannick and Alain together collaborating. But man, yeah, like the black and whites that Warring Abbott took of these guys. I don't know why they weren't posters. They were just amazing. But yeah. Oh yeah, the Star Stowe, the S&M posters. Boy, boy, those the Brianne Rubinstein, the Red Room sessions. I was never lucky enough to have one of those first album promo posters, but some of those Red Room shots, Peter with the dagger and the downturned whiskers, those are amazing. I mean, geez, man, and to have a big poster of the Elder, the first session with the Elder costumes, man, like those blew me away. Yeah, I mean that era, if I was to even narrow it down, it's so hard to narrow down, but late 76 to 78. I mean, it's crazy to think of that's only 2 years time.
Yeah.
And to think in the evolution of Kiss and when we, at our age, when we were kids, just, man, that seemed like that's a bigger chunk of time than it really is. But yeah, I like the early posters because Kiss were just a little bit more dangerous. The S&M posters being a good, or pinups being a good example of that. Like, Kiss of, Super Kiss got to the point, my case in particular, they were safe enough to take your parents to the show. And that's all cool. I mean, I loved it. I was on cloud 9, but still not quite as cool as they were just a couple of years earlier. Again, this is a question that really forces me to... it's off camera, but I'm looking at a box of posters, a bunch of rolled up posters that just totally... I know that my man FL Dog knows exactly what I'm talking about. Got to get those posters out of the rolls and into the frames. All right, and enough of that. Moving on to March 21st. Would Ace Frehley's makeup have been as effective if it were another color instead of silver?
Probably not. I don't know. I mean, I can't think of anything except maybe because he had that light blue that he was putting in, and he was doing more and more of that as he was getting, more loaded. Probably more and more disenthused with putting it on.
Do you like the Ace era with the black over the eyes, under the eyes?
Not really. I actually like the Ace where he actually got tired of putting it on and just had his actual skin color around his eyes on a couple of shots. He was like, hell with it.
That's what I like about 75 era Gene, when he had the little raccoon circles of skin around his demon eyes. But yeah, I mean silver, and this is the second part of the question. It's like, if I were a prosecuting attorney, I would object on the basis of asked and answered, because the second part of the question is, why does silver simply work best for Ace? Well, because his eyes look like stars. Silver is spacey, I mean, he's the spaceman. Is a twinkle twinkle little star. I mean, that's...
It got him that far.
Yeah.
Why change it?
Yeah. Yep, C. Beans agrees. So, yeah, the answer is no. Maximum effectiveness with silver. March 22nd. What goes through your mind the moment you hear the opening Kiss concert hum? How many times have you heard that hum? And if you count my dreams of Kiss, thousands of times I've heard that hum. Yeah, well, We started out goofy.
I've heard it a couple. I've heard it like 6 times or something like that. I've seen Kiss. So that, but does that count like getting ready to watch a video where, and then what even that Kiss 2020 Goodbye, we all sat there and watched that.
Yeah, I mean it even in a situation like that, it stirs the same feeling of anticipation.
You get to watch the scrum drop,
and just and that sort of like post JR, post Eddie Belandis, like who are we gonna hear ask us if we're ready, and but as far as like being in a concert hall,
I know the first time I heard it was Creatures, and that's they opened with Creatures, and that just like totally blew me away. I was like, what? They're not opening with Detroit Rock City?
Yeah, well, I'm in my mind. Oh, what the heck is going on back here?
She's up on top of the liquor cabinet, and there goes the
What's she tearing down now? Oh my goodness. Oh wow.
Beans wins.
Yeah, Beans wins. We can do a podcast without a Kiss sleeping bag, can't we? Oh shit.
And I have to now, unless you want to.
No, I'm not going to worry about it. Maybe that's a drinking game. Whenever your cat destroys your set, you take a drink. But yeah, to your point of being discombobulated by that hum, and then they come out, and like in your case, they did Creatures. When I saw them on Dynasty, King of the Nighttime World. What? Not Detroit Rock City. breaks a little man's brain when you hear somebody hit the stage to King of the Nighttime World. But yeah, the hum. It made me think of. I mean, the greatest example of the hum was the Tiger Stadium show. And man, I mean, even before the hum,
they played rock and roll.
Well, there was a helicopter with a searchlight flying around Tiger Stadium, and man, I mean, the atmosphere was just crazy. I mean, we didn't like for the goosebumps on your arm to rise. It didn't even need a sound or we were just so ready. We knew what was coming, and I mean, but that hum, that was like hits you in your solar plexus. But I do remember a couple of nights later, me and Dwayne Tilson and Brian Coggins went to Louisville, and I kind of remember there being a long anticipation with that. Was it Rock and Roll, or was it Won't Get Fooled Again? I don't know, but yeah, I mean, we all know what that hum induces. Just it's coming. Just the anticipation is palpable. Good stuff. We all go back to that first time, at least I did anyway, the first time seeing Kiss and those lights go down. And wild. Okay. March 23rd. What is your favorite Kiss button? What memories do you have of wearing it? Well, that's a piggyback on July 13th, 1979. I got one of the leftover buttons. They were selling the leftovers from the Love Gun tour. I was there.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's my favorite Kiss button. But I guess
I never had one, so that's mine too.
I heard that they were giving them away. I'm not sure if anybody knows this. If they were just like a door prize or whatever on the Love Gun tour, or maybe that was just for the Forum shows when they were recording a live too. I'm not sure. I could be off base on this, but I heard that they were giving them that they were free the first time around, and then with the surplus in '79 for the return of Kiss, they were charging $5 for them. But anyway, but yeah, so but I lost that in the fire, and I was able to find another one a few years ago, and I used it in my thumbnail for my first episode of Hey Man.
Nice Kiss shirt.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Exactly. What do we do? You got a drink in your hand?
No. I got just
Hey Man.
Nice Kiss shirt. What's next?
So yeah, memories of wearing it. That show. I put that thing away after Dynasty, and yeah, I was very, very careful and very guarded with my collectibles when I was young. So it's not like I didn't wear it to school the next day and blah blah blah. So no, that's a very confined memory, if you will. So moving along to March 24th, what Kiss demo do you most enjoy? And is the demo version better than the studio version? Why or why not?
All I've heard basically, well, you've been playing some demos for me since I got here and stuff, or and I mean the Eddie Kramer demo is better. It's harder guitars, better guitars anyway than the studio, the Kiss studio album. The studio album guitars almost sound too clean. Eddie brings the dirt. It sounds more just raw.
Yeah.
And that's good. That's the way Kiss should be. Raw.
Urgent, a little bit faster, yeah, a little crisper, a little rattier.
And that's all I basically know about. I mean, we listened to the Love Gun demo. It's not better than the studio version for sure, but I mean, Paul had said that he cut the demos on masters on master tape. So he said he couldn't really deviate much from the demo versions.
Because he demoed it in the studio, like when they were working.
Yeah, I guess he cut the demos on master tapes.
Like on 2-inch.
Yeah.
Whatever, they were probably working with 2-inch for tracking. Huh. I did not know that. That's wild stuff. That's wacky stuff. For me, particularly, it's Strutter from the Kramer demos for the first record. I guess you could consider that an EP. What is it, 5 songs
I think so.
Or whatever? But yeah, Strutter stands apart because it's longer.
Oh, right,
It's faster. There's another go around. There's another solo in it. And one of the things, Strutter's never been one of my favorite Kiss songs, but that demo one of the things I do like about it, that I love about Strutter, is Ace's guitar solo. I often play Strutter for people to try to get him on the Ace bandwagon. Just listen to how economical he is. Listen to what he can do with 2 notes. Listen to he can take 1 note and bend it. And it's just it's kind of like that with the demo version of Strutter. He just and he just goes on and he just does it for longer. And there's another example of that, which is great. I kind of am digressing a little bit, but one of the New Jersey, maybe one of the soundstage rehearsals. Remember for, I think they were maybe like Rock and Roll Over tour.
Like Roosevelt Stadium.
Ah,
I think the Jersey one.
no, these were like airplane hangar rehearsals.
Oh,
on black and white.
I think I remember.
And
seeing
there's
those.
and there's I think it's actually Strutter.
I've seen like Take Me,
where like Ace, I don't know, and they just indulge it. They just let him go, but he just like, he just does that hammer on for like, it feels like he does it for like 30, 40 seconds, and it's like, yes. I love when Ace just milks it, he does more with less than just about anybody else I can name. And that's why I love the Strutter demo more than I love Strutter. For sure. March 25th is the next question. And it asks, what Kiss drummer had the coolest makeup design? Peter Criss the Cat or Eric Carr the Fox? Why is one better than the other?
Ask and answer.
It is to laugh.
What kind of Kiss fan are you?
And who are you asking?
Yeah.
That's a rhetorical, who are you?
If there are any Fox people,
there are Fox people though.
Put them in the comments.
That's what's crazy though. Like that's, and I love that about Kiss. This is like,
it boggles my mind.
Yeah, it's so not me, but man, God bless you for having a different opinion and like sticking to your guns and just, it's freaking Kiss, man. I just love it enough to give a shit one way or the other. It just, so many people.
Wasn't that an Alice Cooper album? Love it enough to give a shit.
Yeah. That's a stretch.
Okay.
Love it enough to give a stretch.
Yep.
But yeah, come on, dude. It all comes down to the second part of the question. Why is the Cat makeup better than the Fox makeup? Because Peter came up with it. Everybody, and I believe this, for as long as people have been asking Kiss, like, who came up with the makeup? Whose idea was the makeup gimmick or whatever? We all did. We all came up with it. And there are, timeline doesn't lie. There are pictures that document, from the eyeliner of, post Wicked Lester. As soon as they got what I call Ace's Shirley MacLaine phase, and I'll put the photo here, from the Shirley MacLaine phase,
Lily Tomlin,
all the way through, man. Like they experimented with just white face.
Mm-hmm.
There's all kinds of experimentation going on. Was it that picture, a picture from the Daisy, where they're like taking a photo with the Booker, and like Ace has no white face; he just has the eyes.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, I love the fact that and that's one of the sort of the Kiss myth things that we're told that is plausible and believable, that that each of those personae, if you will, am I pronouncing the plural correctly? But like, they each came up with them because they reflected aspects of their personality, and it's like that just wasn't there for the Fox. Eric didn't come in hot with that idea and like, hey guys, okay, picture this, I'm Foxy, that's why the Cat is cooler, because he was able to survive the incarnation of that makeup that exists on the very first album. That's something that doesn't really get talked about a lot. Like, you would think that a band's first album image, that was the first thing that many people saw of what Kiss looked like. And yeah, that's not the Catman makeup we all know and love. That's not the design that's registered in the Library of Congress. But yet it's valid and it exists and it evolved, and there's just, it's got backstory. That's what makes it cool. So there you go. And with that, I think we made short work.
I think it's cold gin time again. Actually, it's cold gin.
It's
rum.
It's Black Diamond rum time again. It's not a Moscow Mule. It's a Flint Town Get Down.
It's a Flint Town Get Down.
I don't know what it is. It's a Buick City Bomber, and it's tasty. Not a sponsor. Just a very tasty, super premium dark rum. Pairs well with
rock and roll all night
and journal every day.
Celebrating a year-long guide to
celebrating the fun of
being a kiss bag.
I think you could say that. All right.
I just did.
All right. You just did. All
and
right.
You can say that.
All we have of beans this week was a little wanton destruction. But I do want to ask you, as I do every week, to put your two lips together, kiss that subscribe button, and remember the words of the barbarian from so long ago.
Play hard.
Play fair.
Nobody hurt.